This is part two of the sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of February 2nd, 2025 on Sunday afternoon. So we're definitely going to be seeing the economical wars, trade wars heat up between the nations, China and United States with the trade wars, which they've been having for quite a while. As we see it, stirs up once again as those economic tariffs, 25% on Canada and Mexico, and 10% on China as well too. As you had China to sue the U.S. over Trump's new tariffs. Get back into that book of St. Mark, the third chapter, once again. And this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, and verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against another, the king cannot stand. Right, so if a kingdom be divided against another, the king cannot stand. Which we see in trade wars, economic wars, women's wars among the nations and the kingdoms, which we see St. Mark 3 verse 25, and if a house be divided against the house cannot stand. Right, that's what we see. It says Donald Trump renews call for Canada to join the United States, which that's highly unlikely. After he used that economic tariffs, 25% on Canada, so that's out the window. So, I believe it's going to full effect February the 4th. When those economic tariffs come into full effect, when the announcement on February the 1st, those economic tariffs on China, which is Canada, 25%. Now, Trump did a reverse calling a renewal call for Canada to join the United States. That's not going to happen. Canada, they're going to make sure that's not going to happen. After you use economic tariffs on them, now you're trying to see if they can join the United States. That's not going to happen. Canada definitely don't want nothing to have with the United States right now at the moment, especially with the economic tariffs. It says Canada strikes back with tariffs. President Minister Justin Trudeau has said Canada must stand up for itself and protect its national interests, amending the trade restrictions. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced retaliatory 25% tariffs on American goods hours after U.S. President Donald Trump imposed sweeping trade restrictions on Canada imports. Tonight, I'm announcing Canada will be responding to the United States trade actions with 25% trade tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. Trudeau said at a news conference on Saturday. The first wave of tariffs covering $30 billion worth of U.S. goods will take effect Tuesday. It says with the border measures following a 21-day to allow Canadian companies to adjust. These tariffs will be far-reaching in including everyday items, Canadian leaders said, listing alcohol, fruits, vegetables, clothing, shoes, in addition to direct tariffs. Ottawa is exploring several non-tariff measures which could include restrictions on critical minerals, energy procurement, and other trade partnerships. We will stand strong for Canada, Trudeau says. We will stand strong to ensure our country continues to be the best neighbors in the world. He added, urging citizens to support the domestic businesses. Trump's 25% tariffs on nearly all Canadian goods were announced early Saturday, with the White House citing concerns over the illegal drug trafficking and immigration. The extraordinary threat posed by the illegal aliens and drugs, including deadly fentanyl, constitutes a national emergency. A White House fact sheet read, President Trump is taking bold actions to hold Mexico, Canada, and China accountable to the promises of halting illegal immigration, stopping poisonous fentanyl and other drugs from following our country. The U.S. president claims that Canada has played a central role in America's fentanyl crisis, fails to devote significant attention to any sources to combat the following illicit drugs. In an effort to revert the tariffs, Ottawa introduced a $1.3 billion spending plan aims at strengthening border surveillance and tackle drug trafficking. Trump said on Friday, however, that there is nothing Canada can do right now to avoid the new tariffs. Economists warn that the escalation trade dispute could lead to rising consumer prices and economic disruption in both countries. Yet, once again, bring up that St. Mark. This is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Why so modern day kingdoms being divided, which cannot stand? St. Mark 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. Why so if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand? That's what we're seeing. Yep, so it says once again, Canada strikes back at tariffs. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said Canada must stand up for itself and protect its national interests in amending the U.S. trade restrictions. And then you got Donald Trump talking about calling for a renewal for Canada to join the United States as a 51st state, but that's not going to happen. Now let's go to airednews.com for more prophecy updates. It says the U.S.-led commander says his Kurdish-led group wants to secure Skekler and Silver State in a post-Assad Syria. Yeah.
You cut off today?
Yeah, it did.
Real cold.
No, sure, man. Sure is. Right.
He was upstairs, wasn't looking.
Right.
I think he got 2 cars.
Yeah.
Smell like tape. You can smell it? Like tape.
Must be, yeah.
Oh, that's a long piece. Like tape. You smell something?
Yeah, you can sit on that. Yeah.
You probably take it out. I hope you do take it out.
Sure, but
You have to take it good when you go.
yeah. Then Excuse me for that momentarily pause. I'll stick to them. And this is a news article from ArabNews.com. It reads, and as you've been seeing, the rising tensions been heating up with increasing operations over there in the West Bank. Other increasing operations, been taken by the Israeli Defense Force. And it reads, Israeli military blows up several buildings in West Bank, Judea, Palestinian news agency reports. Virginia government hospital director Wasim Baker told the Palestinian state news agencies that the part of the hospital was damaged in the explosions. The Palestinian state news agency says a 27-year-old man has been killed on Sunday by the Israeli forces raiding a refugee camp near Hebron. The Israelis military blew up several buildings in this occupied West Bank on Sunday in a series of simultaneously explosions. Palestinian state news agency says has leveled around 20 buildings in Geneva refugee camp. The thick clouds were seen rising from the Palestinian city, where Israeli forces have been conducting massive operations for nearly 2 weeks. After Israeli militants said it's targeting the local militants, including sieging weapons stockpile. Asked about the simultaneous demolition of the buildings in Geneva, a spokesperson for the military said several structures used as a infrastructure has been dismantled. More details will be released later, a person said. It's that book of Luke. It's the book of Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars upon the earth. Distress of nations will perplexing, and the seas reservoir. Right, so that's the distress of nations will perplexing, the seas reservoir. Right along with the increasing signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars as well too, from the heavenly Father Yahweh. And upon the earth, distress of nations will perplex the seas reservoir. We've been seeing the latest seditions and uprisings and uproars in the world, which we've seen, especially it says in second Ledger's 9 verse 3, there should be seeing earthquakes and uproars in the world. So we're going to be seeing that increasing more and more and more. Like it says in Matthew 24 verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. It says explosives for remnants of Syrian civil war pose a daunting challenge. It says a drone attack targets Iraqi's neighbor Kelleher gas field, security sources say. It says Netanyahu agrees to begin the talks on the second phase of ceasefire. Southern Lebanon residents are terrified border destruction. U.S. condemns deadly attacks on civilians in Sudan. Hezbollah slain former chief Hassan al-Nasrallah to be buried in February. It says the king of Jordan to meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington. The Armenian chief army to stand at the French counterpart in Maschat. Netanyahu leaves for Washington looking to deepening ties with Trump. It says Palestinian militant says Israeli forces killed 5 men at West Bank. It says Jordan eyes increase export to Iraq and making strengthening economic ties. At least 56 killed in a fighting in grips greater Khartoum. Syrian files no leniency after the 10 death state media reports. It says gunman kills 10 in Alabi village in Syria, monitor reports. It says Egyptians protest in Rafah border crossing against Trump's plan to display Palestinians. Right, that goes into that Luke 21 verse 25. It says a UN alarm at the report of summary of executions and civilians in Sudan. Get to some more prophecy updates. It says a U.S. top diplomat warns Panama to reduce China's business interests in canal. It says trade. It says Trump ignites trade war. Will there be a legal response? It says China sets to file a lawsuit with the WTO following Trump's U.S. tariff measures. It says North Korea. It says North Korea condemns Rubio's rogue state remarks as a grave provocation. It says Democratic of Republic of Congo near Guama displayed people being on journey home. And this is a news article of Iran definitely been building up their nuclear capability. And it goes into that Joel thing, verse 10. And this is a news article from the MiamiHerald.com. It reads from the DPA, the Tribune Content Agencies, updated February the 2nd, 2025 at 4:36 p.m. It reads, Iran unveils a new medium-range missile capable of traveling 1,056 miles. It says from Tehran to Iran, Iran showcased a new medium-range missiles capable of reaching any part of Israel. Right, because we've been seeing the rising escalations been heating up between Iran and Israel for quite a while. Even though you have that momentary ceasefire between Hezbollah and the Israel Defense Force, but it's still going to be nuclear escalations between Iran and Israel. As I add a side note to that, it says Iran has showcased a medium-range missile capable of reaching any part of Israel. The ISNA state news agency report on Sunday. The Estamad missile has range of 1,700 kilometers, 1,056 miles. The SINA report. Our missile technology is designed solely to ensure no one dares to attack us. The Iranian president Mazar Paskalowski said at a ceremony to present the missile. It says Iran's self-proclaimed essence of resistance against the arch enemy Israel is considering to have been severely weakened by the recent blows to its allies in Lebanon and Syria. Tehran is also facing a dire economic situation, which could deteriorate further if U.S. President Donald Trump imposed U.S. sanctions on the country. It says Trump looks to tough approach towards Iran during its first term, withdrawing from 2018 from the nuclear pact negotiated by former President Barack Obama and imposed harsh sanctions on Tehran. It says Paskalowski has said Tehran is willing to negotiate a new nuclear deal with Trump, and the resumption of the nuclear negotiations would could leave sanctions being lifted, and the economic benefits for Iran would not be possible without the United States. You may feel like you're stuck in the educated days a week. Well, it doesn't. Save more on groceries and vegetables. Start your free with me. Try. It's the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. It says, beat your plowshares and swords and plenty hooks and spears like the weak stand strong. Right? Because Iran is definitely going to continue building up that nuclear capability. We still going to have escalations between Iran and Israel as well too. Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors and bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP and your It says hundreds descend on Washington Capitol to rally about schools, rent caps, and immigration justice from the Olympic Washington. It says fighting in Myanmar, Senegal's regional prompt thousands to flee in India border. It's the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, so I mentioned again, Iran versus Israel, Iran building up their nuclear capability. You're still going to have escalations throughout Western Asia, as that latest raid's been taking place over there in Geneva, over there in the West Bank, as you have multiple areas been hit by airstrikes from the Israel Defense Force, as always. So even though you have a momentary ceasefire over there in Lebanon of Hamas on their side, and Israeli forces were too over there in Israel, but you're still going to have escalations heating up throughout the whole region in different parts over there in Western Asia, and other nuclear escalations heating up in different parts around the world as well too. That's why it says increasing wars, rumors of wars, increasing nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Right, the Gentile, which is the other nations or armies, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right, so we see increasing growing signs of that over there in Western Asia. Joel 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and swords and plenty hooks at the spears, and let the weak stand strong. Right, let the weak stand strong. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying for part 1 and part 2 of the sit down lesson of the prophecy updates as of February the 2nd, 2025 on this Sunday afternoon. So with that, hopefully this was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem HaKadosh, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Ba'Hashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last one that I saw the tongue. And I say Barak Thumb to the elders and apostles. Ma'akim Ma'akraf until next time, I would say Shalom.